Hello. Hi, my name is Eloisa, and I'm gonna be doing a review of the X-Class bike by Ariel Rider. If it's gonna save you time, I'll say it right now. This bike is totally worth it. If you wanna hear what I have to say in my review, please keep watching. I am not getting paid to say good things, so this is my actual review of the bike, and I will tell you all the things that I like about it and the things that didn't really work for me, you know? But just to be upfront here, there wasn't a lot I didn't like, I'm not even gonna lie. It was really fun riding it. This is a disclaimer, I am not a bike expert by any means. I am just a person that really enjoys having fun and trying new things. If you're anything like me, you enjoy adventuring, but you're also not extreme. So you're like in that sweet spot of like, I want to have some fun and be outdoors and try new things, but you're not like, I'm gonna jump off a plane with a wingsuit on, right? I wouldn't do that personally. So what worked for me in the bike? The first thing that worked for me was the speed. It, 30 to 35 miles an hour, and it's fast, man. It's like, at some points I was like, whew, I'm not used to going that fast on a bike ride. So it really has you check in a little bit with how fast you're going. But it's really fun, and it's smooth. It's like a smooth 30 to 35 miles an hour, and you can really hold there. It goes pretty fast, so you can have like a lot of fun with it. The second thing that really worked for me was their motor. I believe it's 750 watts, which, I'm no expert, so I'm not even gonna pretend I know what that means. But when I was looking at bikes to collaborate and partner up with, I did notice that this bike was, the X-Class was the bike that had the most powerful motor, the best quality, and the most affordable, as like best bang for your buck, right? And I wasn't disappointed. It allows you to go up really big hills, like without a struggle. And I thought that was big. That was big. I rode some really like long uphills, and it took it like a champ. It really did. The bike really did super well. Like, I was going probably like 15 miles an hour going up a hill. So that was like super impressive. So really powerful motor, which is, it's reliable. I'd say like that's the word that I can use for it. It's really like reliable and powerful. That's my experience with the motor. So it was definitely something that worked for me. Third thing that really worked for me was their battery. Honestly, I've used my bike quite a few times, and the times that I've charged was before like a long day that I was gonna be riding. It wasn't because it died, which is crazy. So it has a 50-mile range, up to 50 miles, which is like a lot, and like I haven't gotten to a point yet where I rode my bike and it died on me. But what I will say that I can, when the bike is off, I can still like pedal, and it's not too heavy to be pedaling it around. So even though I haven't been in a situation where it died on me, I'm sure that if you're riding it for more than 50 miles, which props to you, because that's a long ways, you can still pedal the bike, which is pretty cool. But yeah, the battery really worked for me. And like I said, like really quiet. It's like a really quiet bike, and it's like a smooth ride. That's the best way to describe it. It's truly like a smooth, solid ride. And those movie scenes that like they're like riding into the sun and it's like beautiful, like that's kind of like how you feel. You just feel like you're in a movie the entire time, because it's just such a smooth, fun ride, and it's really a great time with this bike. The fourth thing I really liked about the bike was the fact that it's beautiful. It's a really good looking bike. It doesn't only look good, but it's a really solid bike. It looks good, it looks high quality, it's just super solid. And not only that, but like whenever I've been riding it, if people really do turn their necks, I've always thought like turning your neck was like a really funny expression to like, you know, emphasize something, but like literally people will turn their neck. The fifth thing that worked for me was how solid this bike is. And I know I mentioned how solid it is on the last point, but I mean it as in like reliable. It's a very, very reliable bike. And that's something that really worked for me. I'm a beach girl, you know, like I love surfing, I love being on the beach, and I was able to take it to the sand and ride it on the sand. And like, I have never done that in my life. So, you know, maybe you're watching and you're like, I do that all the time, it's not that big of a deal. But like for me, I've never done it, and it was super cool. And, you know, being able to ride it in downtown, being able to take it on trails and ride it on trails, being able to like take it on dirt and riding it, playing on dirt, and being able to go to the beach and ride it on sand. Like, the tires are so fat and it's just so reliable. Like, with all the things that I mentioned previously, like the battery, the motor, it's just such a reliable bike that you can really take anywhere, and it's fun, it's guaranteed like a good time, and it's beautiful too. And to me, those are like the main important pieces that I really want to touch on for this video. And obviously for me, the things that didn't work were kind of minimal. I did mention that earlier, but for me, the first thing that didn't work was just like the weight. It's a heavy bike. I mean, it is solid and reliable for a reason, but it is truly like a heavy bike, and I'm 5'3", like 130 pounds, and you know, it was a heavy bike. It is a heavy bike for me to like, I can't just grab it and like take it with me places. Just something to keep in mind, right? And like also when I'm sitting on the bike and I'm stopping and I'm like just sitting on the bike with my feet on the ground, my feet don't completely touch the ground. So something also to keep in mind, I'm 5'3", I'm like really short. So if you're like any taller than that, you should be fine. But if you're any smaller than that, just something to keep in mind. Again, like, so it's just a big bike, big, solid bike. And if it was a little lighter, it would have been like awesome. But also, I don't know if you can make a bike that solid that is super light either, right? So you pick your battles. I'd rather have a solid bike. The other thing that I didn't like was that I was overwhelmed when I first got it. I was like, oh my God, I know nothing about bikes. Like, how am I gonna build this? It comes in this huge box that is super heavy, and like, I was overwhelmed. I was like, oh man, it's gonna be tough building this. But you know, I think at the end of the day, it's like, just take some time and go step by step, and you'll figure it out. I do get overwhelmed sometimes building things that I don't understand, so it's on brand for me. Granted, there's only a few things, I would say like there's not a lot that you have to put on the bike, like just the front tire and like just installing a couple things that are easy. But what was hard and overwhelming for me was the cables, like connecting certain cables. And with help, I was able to do it. And YouTube also had that information, and so did the manual. You know, I think in a perfect world, I just get this bike in the mail ready. But let's be honest, like just the fact that we can get a bike in the mail is already pretty awesome. So, and honestly, those are like the only two things I can think that didn't really work for me. But they weren't even that bad, you know. Those are things that were easily overlooked by me that maybe bother me for like a good 10 minutes or so, or not even. But overall for me, like, the bike is so worth it. It's so fun, and I know for a fact that they are best quality one, and they actually do care about you, and really they care about your safety, they care about you having fun, and they care about people. They really do. They want people to be able to enjoy these bikes and make the most out of their lives, you know. And I feel like that was what I was able to do with this bike the time that I've had it so far. Yeah, I'm really excited to like create more memories with my friends and with this bike, and it's been a really, really great time. And yeah, so if you're looking for a bike and Ariel Rider X-Class is on your list and you're eyeing it and you're watching this video, honestly, worth it. Totally, totally worth it. So thank you so much for watching again. Have an amazing, amazing day. Peace.